Hello, my friends, and happy Acolyte Tuesday, folks! Even though I don't even know if you can call this Happy Tuesday anymore because of the traumatic events that happened last week. Still haven't emotionally recovered or fully recuperated mentally, physically. I think I'm still in a state of denial following the absolute just carnage, the absolute clinic that Chimera was putting the Jedi through, really putting them through the ringer. It has truly ramped up the stakes so much more by eliminating main core characters that you were attached to. It just raised and amplified the stakes so freaking much, the fear factor surrounding how far, Chimera, or if that's even his real name, how far he's willing to go, or more importantly, who I still think somebody is pulling the strings behind the scenes that we have not yet met, because I think it's a very apprentice rookie move to have revealed yourself in this way to the Jedi, especially when he had the upper hand, the element of surprise and sheer mystery, looming in the shadows there. He had quite a lot of leverage in this situation. So what I'm mostly curious about is, what is Chimera's true intention necessarily? I feel like this act of absolute just rampage against the Jedi, this is like an act of war, and they're of course gonna go, I imagine, if Sol makes it back to Coruscant, or even if he doesn't, which would probably garner more suspicion. Vernestra sent him with a small team and said, go quietly, and this was anything frickin' but. So whatever happens, I really hope that they don't pump the brakes here. Whether we get flashbacks or not, I hope they capitalize on this momentum. They've really just opened an absolute can of whoop-ass. Pardon my French, but that's the only way to describe it. They've sent full pedal to the metal by, again, ripping the band-aid and just not being afraid to elevate these stakes to pure shocking points. I hope that they don't pump the brakes here. I hope they just continue to keep sending it, raise it further and further, and I think we're on the verge now of getting some more answers now that Chimera has been revealed, but I still think there's someone else behind the scenes, so I'm gonna stop hypothesizing here, and let's just see for ourselves what we have in store for tonight's episode. Oh, frick, my heart is pounding. Again, now that I know how serious they're willing to take this, how far they're willing to go to shock us, absolutely just, I'm scared now. Band-Aid has been ripped. Literally nobody is safe. Oh, frick. Episode 6. Teach/corrupt. And we've got Vernestra in the thumbnail here. What the frick is she gonna do about all of this? Where's she gonna stand? Is she still gonna double down and try to bury this? Let's get in. Heart is pounding. Stop it!
Where is she? Her sister.
She's gone.
And she's in danger! Oh god. Not the scary violin. Hello, underground lair. True, she knows he makes poisons. You better check if that's safe, girl. Whoa, what? Oh, this is giving me Last Jedi vibes. Unknown! That's hilarious. I like these little things. Shout out to the creature department! I'd be scared as shiz. Oh my god. Oh. Is cleanup crew gonna find them? Oh god.
Emergency code 0. There's been a
Murder! Slaying!
My whole team is dead. I must speak to Master Vernestra.
Sniff her out, Basil. Come on, champ.
We were ambushed. There is a much larger threat than we anticipated. OSHA, I'm going to reset the transceiver.
So she still wants to kill him, huh? Oh. This is breaking my heart. Come on, MVP. Well, he's gonna bring Pip back to life. Come on, Basil, rise. Rise up. Ow! He totally knows she's there.
How does it feel to hold one in your hand again?
Stay where you are.
I'm wondering if it's honorable to kill me like this. Now you're wondering how I can read your mind. I can't. Not exactly.
Why not kill me? Am I supposed to be your prisoner? Did you kill Saul?
No. Interesting you ask about him first, though. He taught you the Jedi arts, but he's more to you than that. A special relationship, isn't it? Master and pupil?
Well, lay it on thicker, why don't you? How is he so tame? How could he be so vicious, so violent, put on a clinic, absolutely massacre, and now he's like calm? Gave himself a little baptism wash? Like what? Oh.
You saved us, OSHA. He corrupted your sister. He pushed me to a place I'm sorry. It's time to make things right. It's time for me to face the High Council. To tell them everything.
Oh my god.
Do you want to take a look?
Give me
Oh.
a couple minutes.
What is it, Mark? We received a distress call from Master Soul. There were casualties. Who? The connection was faulty.
Oh,
It
stop.
sounded like... Prepare a rescue team to depart for the planet Kofar immediately.
It is too late.
I sent him there.
Oh, shoot.
Speak as if you were a Jedi.
I was
Okay.
a long time ago.
Why'd you bring me here?
Why do you think? Everyone does seem to want you.
He's found me before. And his strength in the Force is very powerful.
That's your strength in the Force, OSHA. I'd start swimming if you want to make it to the ship before sundown, or you can wait for the tide to go out.
He's taking the gentle approach. He's trying to lure her slowly. Acting all cool and collected. And they kind of have the same noses as the sea cows in The Last Jedi, too.
What did you mean by strength in the Force?
Exactly that. The Jedi teach there's only one way to access the Force, but there is another way. Anger, fear, loss.
That's the path to the dark side. You murdered my friends.
I killed Jedi. I killed those who threatened my existence.
You killed Yord. You killed Jackie.
Why do you love people who can only go so far? Who can't go as deep as you can?
Ah, shoot.
I'm not that easily corrupted.
It's freaking me out so much how calm he is right now. It only makes it even scarier that he's just so calm and cool.
You stayed here to do something. Do it.
A Jedi doesn't attack the unarmed.
Why do you still think of yourself as a Jedi? They didn't want you to.
I left
Why?
because I chose to.
Are you sure about that? This anger, this pain, the Jedi saw it, and that's why they threw you away. Why aren't you a Jedi, OSHA?
Because I failed!
Oh my god, I thought she was about to slash him. So it wasn't on her own accord.
I understand.
Frick, he found her
I
weakness.
lost everything. That's when you're finally free.
Don't seduce her, stop, no. Ah, frick. Come on, Basil. Pull through, buddy.
I ran a diagnostic. Had to restart the system. So?
How could I not have sensed that villain's true intentions?
You see what you want to see. He fooled us all.
Her included.
You picked right. I noticed the way you take care of him, even though he's just a machine.
I've always been like that. I had to lose a lot of myself in order to become a Jedi.
I'm sorry if you felt that way.
How could I feel any other way?
So, what did
He
you
told me
do?
everything that happened on Brendock. You can tell me.
Oh, come on.
Hello, is anybody there? Can you hear me?
Identify yourself.
My name is...
What? So what? Here's the tattoo. Oh.
The rescue team is on their way.
Oh, frick.
Leave your transponder on.
Soul, what are you doing? Oh. Soul going rogue. Okay. Oh, frick. Well. Oh, shnikes. They're gonna see the frickin' carnage. Oh, God. Frick, but they're not gonna find Soul. Are they gonna think he went rogue and did all this? God, they are gonna find all those bodies. It's so bad. Oh my God. No, it's being repaired.
Can you give that same pitch to my sister?
I thought she wanted more than just revenge.
What do you want?
The power of two.
Where'd you get that scar? Looks like someone stabbed you in the back. Your Jedi Master?
No. Really?
Try it on.
I don't trust you.
Nor should you. But you should learn to trust yourself.
If she puts that thing on, it's over. I don't know, I feel like he lied to her. I feel like he told her a sob story. Ah! No. Frick that. Oh, God.
What happened here?
What do you see?
One versus many. His power extraordinary, his skills erratic. No survivors.
Yeah! Wait for that.
They were all killed by a lightsaber.
A powerful Jedi has fallen. You don't think Master Soul was responsible? Who else would possess the power to slay such a strong group?
Something to tip the scales. We should prepare these bodies for burial.
Well, at least that's comforting. They're not all just gonna die there forever. Oh, God. Suddenly, I'm scared of him.
You need to find your master. We need to save OSHA. You and I are going to talk. I've had 16 years. Think about what I would say to you if I ever got the opportunity. So you're going to listen.
It's not over? No, she's gonna freaking put it on. No, do not. Don't. Chimera knew darn well what he was doing, leaving her alone with this. Frick! Oh, God. Oh, it's over, y'all. It is so over. Oh, God. Why do I have this sick, awful feeling? OSHA, she can't freaking win. She can't win. She was vulnerable. She was a freaking child, you know? They are so easily influenced. You think she has more of an understanding, more control over her own destiny, more kind of self-awareness, but it's kind of really revealed she's still so lost, so uncertain, just in uncharted waters. Like, you know, she really said it perfectly in episode 1. None of her skills are transferable after being, now we really know. I think Chimera, like, you know, dug out the truth. He sniffed out the reality of the situation, which is his shared reality, being expelled essentially from the Jedi Order. I don't know if I fully necessarily subscribe to his stories here. I mean, we obviously know that there are Jedi that aren't all that fabulous, you know, but I still find it so incredibly hard to believe. I don't know, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't trust him. I feel like this could all be a little bit of an act, a sob story to bait her, knowing that she's vulnerable and just witnessed absolute tragedy. Like, point where I'm going with this though is OSHA herself is extremely vulnerable. I think this totally revealed she doesn't have a firm, you know, standing, a firm understanding of her own self-identity, where she stands in anything, especially since we know now that her leaving the Jedi Order was not entirely on her own volition, which I had been suspecting. I was curious. It felt like there were some third-party voices there that maybe encouraged her to move aside, move along. For someone who wanted so desperately to join as a child and lost everything as a child, you would think what could have brought her to then forsake the Jedi Order if that was her only true family. For someone who has experienced such tragedy and loss, what could have then possessed them to want to leave the one thing that they had left, the one sort of family and life that they had? And she made it clear, she made it known that, you know, once you leave the Jedi Order, what else do you do in the world? All this time not really knowing where she stands, her identity, everything she ever had, she lost, you know? So Chimera sniffed that right out and he chipped right through it. She's not on solid ground, and I don't know if she's ever really been since leaving the Jedi, so it's like I think Chimera is weaponizing this. He's playing the freaking soft, gentle. I don't buy this. His performance, like, power to him because it's all the more terrifying. Obviously, what we saw was sheer, pure, absolute, vile terror and horror that he wreaked havoc, you know, on all the Jedi, absolutely just massacring, brutalizing them. So to go from that and suddenly flip the switch and now he's this calm and collected and seemingly level-headed, it's like, what the frick? I saw you just murder people. Like, brutally. Like, he doesn't see the Jedi as human. He dehumanized the frick out of them and absolutely put on a clinic. And to now all of a sudden be this peaceful? Like, that's how I would describe. He's so peaceful right now. There's something solemn. There's something melancholic. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if this is an act. I don't necessarily trust him, but he's playing everything right. He's given her every opportunity to leave or to kill him, you know, like, leave if you want. Ship's over there. He's laying it all out for her, giving her the element of, you know, the illusion of choice here, which she seemingly kind of never really has had. She felt stripped of, you know, her own authority as a child when the Coven is kind of, you know, seemingly forcing her to ascend and be tethered to her sister forever, and she didn't want to freaking do that, and if it weren't for the Jedi, that would have been her fate, unwillingly, and there with the Jedi, she really then had no choice. OSHA has really never had a choice here, and Chimera's kind of the first one offering one to her. Like, I think he recognizes that, and he's using that to his advantage to lure her in a different side of the picture that she's never seen. Can we talk about freaking performances? Like, give Lee Jung-jae all the freaking awards. Going from heart-wrenching to then I'm scared. Holy shit, I am scared of Soul. Which, you know, I guess you could have felt that. We got a little bit of a precursor of what he's capable of. The rage that he tapped into after everybody freaking died in front of him. He was going ham, and, you know, here he is apologizing to who he believes is OSHA at the time, you know, kind of atoning for the fact that he snapped. We saw him go beast mode, but I didn't necessarily feel fear so much as the time, but I was like cheering him on, like, frick yeah, Soul, freaking get it. That obviously isn't the Jedi way, but I wasn't so scared at the time because I was just so distracted by how freaking boss he is. The fact that they assumed that he could have done this and fallen and, you know, attacked the rest of his companions here on this trip and left no crumbs, even they assumed that he's the only one who's capable of this. So he's clearly an extremely powerful Jedi, and everybody else knows it, to the point that they would suspect him of being guilty of doing this, committing these awful acts of violence. This now, though, I think that was all foreshadowing what we're seeing, just I think a little tip of the iceberg here with May. Tell me why I was freaking terrified of Soul, y'all. But that is just a testament, of course, to his performance. This man has untapped every emotion from me. Heartbreak, you know, compassion, empathy. He's able to really, like, reach you with his heart and his just kindness and this, like, purity that he has, this good, generous soul. But we're seeing here, he is clearly capable of so much more. You know, is all of that just a mask for this internalized darkness that he's had to bottle up necessarily from knowing the truth and having to conceal that to everyone? You know, he was saying he has to come clean to the higher council. Whatever the frick they did on Brendok, they bent some rules, clearly. They did some un-Jedi-like shiz and then just created a pact together and said, hey, what happens here stays here. We are not going to say shiz. They did some dirty work and then covered it up and only had each other to hold accountable. But clearly it's been weighing on Soul, you know? He's been slowly, like, deteriorating as the truth is about to come out, you know? I think he's desperate to get this off his shoulders, desperate to confess this, and to May especially. So where I'm going with all of this, what stood out the most is he says to May, I've thought about what I would say to you, what I would confess to you if I ever had the chance. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you would only rehearse such a confession or toil over those things if you had even the slightest suspicion that she had survived. Maybe all this time he knew she had survived, or just suspected it, or just felt guilty, or I don't know, toiled over this. Maybe all this time he's been living in the uncertainty that she actually met her demise there, and that she could still be alive. But it's interesting the way he has flipped here. His dynamic between OSHA when he, you know, in those moments when he's having this heart-to-heart with her and it's clear he's hiding something and he's ready to confess, and he has said to her, like, I will explain. It was coming from a gentler, desperate place. He's freaking locked May up and he's like, you're gonna freaking sit down and listen to what I have to say to you. It is such a different tone. I'm so afraid of what he has to say. This doesn't feel peaceful. I'm terrified, y'all. At the beginning of this episode, you know, that moment that was so beautiful. So much was said, just that shot on him that lingered for quite a while. He went through like a whole array of emotions and just thoughts, like so much unsaid, so much unspoken, but you could read in the power of his acting and his performance, what he was freaking going through, the absolute just mental anguish and battle that he had in just that moment when he took a second to breathe and process to himself. He's so freaking stellar. His whole performance here, this has just made it all the more dynamic, all the more fleshed out, and like, what the frick are you about to confess? But yeah, I'm afraid of Soul. I'm afraid for him because circumstances aren't looking great now here. As it turns out, as things stand, he's not making it back to Coruscant, I don't think. The fact that he's here going rogue and now they can't reach him and here they are, you know. Vernestra herself snapped and said that is a bold accusation to make to insinuate that he could have been capable of doing all of this, and suddenly optics-wise, he's not there. I think you could tell she's equally curious. For Soul, I think this is it. The fact that he's gone rogue now. I think the things he's about to profess to her, though, I have a bad feeling it's like he could never go back to the Order anyway. And it's clearly so dark, so twisted, whatever they did, so corrupt. It drove Torben to the brink. We're getting a lot of answers here. I mean, the biggest one's still to come, but they've really, really built it up, and now I'm like scared. I thought I wanted to know. I'm like, no. Soul, sweetie, you can keep that to yourself. I don't want to know. I still want to love you. I'm still ride or die, Soul Patrol. It's so interesting how I was literally on the verge of like, all right, we need answers. Come on. And now suddenly that we're about to get them, I'm like, frick no. I want to be able to just root for Soul and love him in peace, and I feel like after what we're about to learn, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. But final straw here, I think it's over, y'all. OSHA put that mask on. We're done. I think the twins are about to have a little mental switcheroo. A change of heart for each of them, perhaps. Only 2 freaking episodes left, team. My god. Shiz is about to hit the fan. This is a lot to think about. But that's literally the case with every freaking episode. This show, it ends, and you get your answers, and then you have like 5 bajillion more questions. So, also, I will never forgive them for that shot of Jackie. My god. On that note, y'all, thank you so much for joining me for this. I can't freaking wait for the next few episodes. This is just, it's coming to a boiling point. Soul, I love you, ride or die. I'm just not gonna listen. I'm not gonna listen. Just a few more episodes, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. Let me know what you guys thought about this, what your predictions may be going forward for the final 2 episodes here for OSHA, Soul, everybody. I will catch you guys in the penultimate episode 7 reaction next week. But until then, hope you guys are doing so well as always. May the force be with you guys always. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.